Hello and welcome to In My Honest Opinion. I am Chad Miller and I'm going to talk about the events that happened last night at the Academy Awards. Whew, this is going to be a doozy. So, it was great to have the Academy Awards back. Don't get me wrong. I've always likened it to the Super Bowl for the gays. I mean, as derogatory as that sounds. Um, and I've heard other people mention that as well. However, when it came to Chris Rock last night and the statement that he made and the reaction that it caused, that really set things off, and that's what I want to talk about. So I understand that the landscape of stand-up comedy has changed a lot over the course of the last at least 5 to 6 years, if not more. Um, and with good reason. Um, and it remains to be seen whether Chris knew about Jada Pinkett Smith's alopecia condition or not. Not entirely sure. Um, so should that have been off limits or not? I can't say. I personally had no idea that she had the condition. So, um, considering her look, I didn't know. I thought it was kind of a, nice little haha moment. Um, and then Will Smith goes up on stage and smacks Chris Rock across the face and returns to his seat and basically says, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth." Um, wow. Um, so, um, so going forward in this conversation, I want to take a look. Uh, I want to take a look back at how I feel about Will Smith as an actor, as a Hollywood personality. Um, I mean, we all know that he's been around for a long, long time, and he's got a long history of music and movies, television, and all that. I've never really truly been wowed by him in any of those genres except for when he was in the movie 6 Degrees of Separation. And I that was very early on in his career, and I was simply bowled over by his performance. And for the life of me, I don't know what it was like for him as an entertainer in his career or anything like that, to say why he didn't choose a more dramatic path in his career. Um, I mean, obviously, he did very well otherwise. Um, playing the gimmick that launched him, and there's nothing wrong with that at all whatsoever. Um, I've just never been a fan of it myself, because I know that he was worth more than that based on 6 Degrees. Um, so I just, personally myself, I just haven't bothered, honestly. As far as King Richard goes, I, I would say that's something that I probably would watch. I haven't watched it. Um, and that leads into a little bit more into the discussion of the ramifications after what happened after Mr. Smith hit Chris Rock. This is a tough conversation. Well, actually, let me just dive in. So when Will got the announcement that he won the award for Best Actor, he went up and made his acceptance speech and full of tears. And as somebody who's been in the business as long as he has, the accolades are certainly present and genuine and wonderful and acceptive, and I found it deplorable and abhorrent that he did not take any blame or responsibility on his part for what happened earlier in the night. He apologized to the Academy. He made statements that, defending your family and doing crazy things for the love of your family. And that just doesn't sit right with me. I'm not saying that Will Smith doesn't deserve the Oscar. And I can't speak on behalf of him or the Williams family, which they gave a standing ovation to him after the end of his speech. And like I said, I haven't seen King Richard, so I don't know if there's a history of physical abuse involved in that story or not. I am appalled, and I understand a person's wanting to defend their family and the like. I think Will could have handled that much, much differently. He could have said something to Chris backstage or at an after party or something like that. It didn't need to be on air. I and after that altercation and his win with really no apology to Chris Rock at all or his behavior, I'm just dumbfounded, and this is my opinion. And I understand that the Williams family was probably proud that, you know, that Will won the Oscar for portraying Richard. But the fact that they gave him a standing ovation after his speech, which he laughed at the end after saying, "I probably won't be invited back," ha ha ha. That in this day and age, in the culture that we live in, and whether it's physical, sexual, mental, verbal abuse, especially in Hollywood, that has been so subjective and centered upon and finally recognized to a degree that, you know, people in the industry have been blacklisted and accounted for those discretions, then all of a sudden we see a physical display of violence on television, and then that person is awarded. And it's not to say he didn't do good work, but there was no apology or remorse or anything like that. And I haven't really watched much on television today to see if there's been any public apologies from Will, or any statements from Chris. I do know that there are no charges being pressed, but this is just a scenario that is reprehensible and behavior that I just can't stand behind, and I've lost all respect for Will Smith. And I hate to say that about anybody, even if I don't like the trajectory of their career at all. I mean, anybody who's in the industry has talent, and they're there for a reason. Whether, you know, I like them or not, it doesn't matter. I mean, I give due respect for them creating the art that they do, but that's, I can't. And, you know, standing up for the rights of yourself or your family or your loved ones is admirable and good-hearted, but not when it comes to physical violence. And that's not a standard that I think anybody should be advocating. So that is me, Chad Miller, in my honest opinion. Thank you for watching.